Good day, everyone. My name is Janela Grace A. De La Cruz from Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Mathematics. I am here to give you an example of problem solving. To easily solve a problem, we will try to use the Q-tips or the questions, thoughts, important information, plan, and solutions. So here is the problem. Mary, Peter, and Lucy were picking chestnuts. Mary picked twice as much chestnuts than Peter. Lucy picked 2 kilograms more than Peter. Together, the three of them picked 26 kilograms of chestnuts. How many kilograms did each of them pick? To analyze this question, let's use the Q-tips. The question that is being asked in the problem is the kilograms of the chestnuts that each of them picked. So the question that being asked is how many kilograms did each of them pick? Next is the thought of this problem. The operation that we will use is addition, multiplication, and division to get the kilograms of chestnuts that each of them pick. Next is the important information or the given numbers in this problem. The given numbers are 2 kg and 26 kg of chestnuts. To plan this, we will use x for the chestnuts that Peter picked, 2x for Mary, and x plus 2 for Lucy. This will be the given formula to solve for the question that being asked. So it will be x plus 2x plus x plus 2 is equal to 26 kg. The solution will be first is to solve for x. So the solution will be x plus 2x plus x plus 2 is equal to 26. You will move 2 beside 26 and sign will be negative. So 26 minus 2 is 24. Next is x plus 2x plus x is equal to 4x. To eliminate 4 here, we will divide both sides in 4. So x will be equal to 6. 6 is the total chestnuts that Peter picked. Next is solve for Mary. We will substitute the given value of x, which is 6. So 2x will be 2 multiplied by x is equal to 12 kg. 12 is the total chestnuts that Mary picked. Last is x plus 2. Again, we will substitute the given value of x, so it will be 6 plus 2 is equal to 8. So Lucy picked 8 kg of chestnuts. To check if our answer is correct, let's total the answer that we got. 6 for Peter plus 12 for Mary plus 8 for Lucy. So the total will be 26 kg of chestnuts. Having this idea on how to easily solve a problem, Q-tips will help students to analyze a problem and make a solution in an easy way. This will be the end of our video. I hope that you understand and learn something. Thank you for watching and keep safe, everyone.
Hello and good day each and everyone. I am a student from Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology San Isidro Campus, and my name is Mark Kenneth T. Banal from BSE 3B, major in Mathematics. And for our task this week, we are asked to solve a problem from grade 9 Mathematics using the Q-tips problem solving strategy. It is a 5-step problem-solving strategy created by Adrian Bird, Ty Roberts, and Sharon Perdue. Q-tips is an abbreviation from Q, which stands for question, T for thoughts, I for important informations, P for plan, and S for solution. And for the grade 9 mathematics topic that I chose, it is the application of quadratic function. And here is my example. A rectangular garden will be enclosed by a 100 meter of fencing materials. Find the greatest possible area that the materials can be enclosed. For the question or the Q, the problem asks for the maximum area that can be enclosed using 100 meters of fencing materials. Let x the length of one side of the rectangular garden, then 100 minus 2x over 2 or 50 minus x be the length of the other side, adjust to it. For t or thoughts, express the area as function of x, length times width, and it is a is equal to x and multiplied by the quantity 50 minus x. Now, we distribute the x to the equation. We have negative x squared plus 50x. Here, the value of a is equal to negative 1. The graph opens downward and the vertex gives the maximum value at a given value of x. To find the vertex, you can choose between completing the square or using the vertex formula. For important information or I, the given are 100 meters of fencing materials and the area of the rectangle is equal to negative x raised to 2 plus 50x. For P or the plan, we will use the completing the squares. For the solution or S, a is equal to negative x squared plus 50x. We will multiply the equation to negative 1 and we will have negative quantity of x squared minus 50x. Now, we complete the squares. We divide 50 by 2 and square it. 50 divided by 2 is equal to 25. 25 squared is 625. And now we will have negative multiplied by the quantity of x squared minus 50 plus 625 plus 625. Then we factor. Now we will have negative x minus 25 squared plus 625. This means that the maximum area that can be enclosed in 100 meters of fencing materials is 625 square meters. The length of one side in x is equal to 25 meters. The length of the other side, 50 minus x or the 25, indicates that the largest area from 100 meter fencing materials can be given by a square of side 25 meters. And that is all for our lesson. Hope you learned something and you find Q-tips problem solving strategy useful. And that is all. Goodbye and God bless.
A pleasant day, everyone. I am Jolly Grace R. Castro from BSc 3B Mathematics. So for today, we're going to talk about solving word problems involving quadratic equation. Also, we're going to use Q-tips in solving a word problems for us to answer the question more easily. So first, let's talk about Q-tips. Q-tips stands for Q, which means question, T, which means thought, I, which means important information, P, which means plan, and S, which means solution. So the first step in solving a word problem is you have to restate the question in your own words to make sure that you understand what is being asked. Next is thought. You have to reread the entire problem and choose the best operation to help you solve the question. The operation is what you do with the numbers to get the answer. Next is important information. The information is the number needed to solve the problem. Next is the plan. The plan is where you write down the problem as you plan to solve it. It is the game plan or strategy for solving the question. Lastly is the solution. The solution is when you are able to give an answer to your plan that also answer your original question. Also, you have to check back to make sure that you have answered what was being asked. Now, let's talk about solving word problems involving quadratic equation using these Q-tips. So, here's the problem. A rectangular table has an area of 27 square feet and a perimeter of 27 feet. What are the dimensions of the table? So first, for us to solve the problem, you have to understand what is being asked. So in the given problem, it says here that the area of the rectangular table is 27 square feet. So we all know that in finding the area of a rectangle, the formula is length times width, and that is 27. Now in perimeter, so we are representing the perimeter as the sum of twice its length and twice its width, and that is 24. Now, let us write the equation. So we have now x squared plus b over ax plus c over a is equal to 0, where negative b over a is the sum of the root and c over a is the product. So for us to find the sum of the given statement, we have negative b over a is equal to 12, or we can have it b over a is equal to negative 12. So therefore, we will have L plus W is equal to 12, or length plus width is equal to 12. That's why we have the sum of the roots, which is 12 or negative 12. Now for the product, since we already have the product, length times width, that is 27, so therefore our C over A is equal to 27. So again, we have our negative b over a is equal to 12, or b over a is equal to negative 12. And our c over a is equal to 27. So let's solve the equation. X squared plus b over ax plus c over a is equal to 0. So we just have to substitute the values for the sum and the product. So our b over a is equal to negative 12. And our c over a is equal to 27. Okay, so this is x squared plus the quantity of negative 12 times x plus 27 is equal to 0. We just have to simplify this equation. So x squared minus 12x plus 27 is equal to 0. We can have it as x minus 3 times x minus 9. Since we already have these factors, we are going to equate these factors by 0. So we will have x minus 3 is equal to 0, or x minus 9 is equal to 0. So let us solve for the values of x. So we have x is equal to 3, or x is equal to 9. So this implies that the width of the table is 3 feet and its length is 9 feet. That's all for today. Thank you for listening.
So, good day everyone. This is Jasmine M. Diaz from BSc 3B Mathematics. So, for today's video, I will explain to you what is quadratic equation and the real-life example of this topic. We can solve this using Q-tip strategy. So, let's start. So first, what is quadratic equation? Quadratic equation is a polynomial equation of the second degree. The general form is ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0, where x represents a variable or an unknown, and a, b, and c are constant with a is not equal to 0. The constant a, b, and c are called respectively the quadratic coefficient, the linear coefficient, and the constant term or free term. So, let's move on for the problem. Real-life example of quadratic equation. So, this example, we are going to use the Q-tips strategy to solve this problem. So, let's start. Two sisters bought together 20 books. One bought 8 books. How many books did the other sister buy? So, we are going to use the Q-tip strategy, which
are the Q stands for question, T is for thoughts, I for important information, and P is to plan, and S is for solution. So, the problem is we all know that what is the question about the problem. So, let's move on for the thoughts. So, we need to know what are the problems, what are they going to talk about, and how to solve this problem. So next, let's move on for the important information. So let's see what are the given information about the problem. So next, plan. And first, we need to plan on how to solve this problem and what are going to use the operation in this problem, even it is addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So then the solution. So in this, the given is 20 books bought of 2 sisters and 8 books bought by 1. And the given is 8 plus x is equal to 20. So that we are going to solve this, will become x is equal to 20 minus 8. Then the answer is x minus 12. The other sister bought 12 books. So these are going to use Q-tips strategy. I hope you understand this, and thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Angelica Rosete from BSE 3B Mathematics. For today's discussion, let us tackle the Q-tips, and after that, I will give a real-life problem example and we solve it by the use of Q-tips. So what is Q-tips? Q-tips is a strategic plan wherein we can help us to easily solve the problem by step-by-step process in mathematics or even in real-life situation. Q-tips have its own meaning by its acronym. Q stands for question, wherein we analyze first the problem and understand what being asked. T stands for thoughts, wherein we choose the best operation to help us solve the question. It's either addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, draw a picture, make a chart, etc. I stands for important information, wherein we get the necessary information to solve the problem. P stands for plan, wherein we think logically on how to solve the problem by our own strategy. S stands for solution, wherein we generate the best answer to our problem. Here is the problem. Mia 3 times as old as Odette. The sum of their ages is 16. How old are Mia and Odette? So, by the use of Q-tips, we find first the Q. So, what is Q or the question? So, the question is, how old Mia and Odette? So, second, we find the T, which is thoughts. So, as we can see in the problem, it said that the sum of their ages is 16. So, I think we use addition and also division to find their age gap. So, third is I, which is important information. So, let's say 3x is Mia's age as old as Odette, x is the age of Odette, and 16 is the sum of their ages. Fourth is P. We use our own strategy to get the answer. So we have 3x plus x is equal to 16. 3x plus x is equal to 4x is equal to 16. So we need to divide both sides by 4 to get the x or its age gap. So, 4x divided by 4 is equal to x. 16 divided by 4 is equal to 4. Last is S, which is solution. Therefore, Odette is 4 years old and Mia is 16 years old.
Good day everyone. So for today's video is all about word problem using Q-tips. First, what is Q? Q means questions. In our first step, we have to know what the questions and how we can answer, and most importantly, we need to understand the problem. So the problem is, Leo gets paid hourly at his job. If he gets 588 pesos for a 6-hour shift, how much will he pay for an 8-hour shift? Find K and write an equation to solve this problem. Next, T. T means thoughts. In our second step, we need to know the thought about this problem. In this problem, the topic is about variation. In this problem, the operation that I use is multiplication and division because the two operations are related in this problem. Next is I, means important information. In our third step, we need to find out the important information in this problem. So the information that we need are the numbers involving to the problem. So the number are 588 and 6 hours in a given problem. 8-hour shift, this is the question we need to answer. Take note, those numbers are very important in this problem. P means plan. In our fourth step, we need to finalize our plan to solve this problem. Since our formula is P is equal K times H, when P is equivalent to payment Leo receives in peso, H equivalent to number of hours Leo renders, K is hourly rate of Leo. So the given is P is equal to 588, H is equal to 6. So the K is missing. This is the hourly rate of Leo. Last is letter S. S means solution. In our last step, we need to know our final solution to answer our problems. P is equal to K times H. P equivalent to 588 and H is 6. So 588 is equal to K times 6. So 588 divided by 6 and equal to K times 6 divide also to 6. So 588 divided by 6 is equal to 98. So our P is equal to 98 hours. P is missing. H is equal to 8. P is equal to 98 times 8. So the final answer is 784. Leo will be paid 784 for an 8-hour shift.
Good day everyone. My name is Ronaldin May A. Aquino from BSE 3B Mathematics. For today's video, I am going to discuss about real-world problem in quadratic equation grade 9 mathematics. But before that, let's talk about the Q tips for solving problems. Let's start. Q stands for question, which means we have to identify and analyze the question first before answering the question. T for thoughts, which means we have to think what's the problem being told, such as what operation or formula that we are going to use. I for important information, which means we have to look for the information needed in the problem to be solved. P for plan, which means were you about to solve the problem by using your plan or strategy. And last is S for solution, which means in here you are about to answer the plan that you make that will represent your answer for that problem. Okay, that's it. So much for that. Let's move on in discussing about the real-world problems in quadratic equation. I have here a real-world problem. A rectangular pool has an area of 12 meters squared and a perimeter of 16 meters. Find the dimensions of rectangular pool. By analyzing the question, the problem here is to solve the dimensions of the rectangular pool. So, our area will be 12 meters squared and our perimeter is 16 meter. We all know that area is equal to length times width, and the perimeter is the sum of all sides of a rectangle, which means twice its length and twice its width. So in here, we will know the information that needed in the question. Now, let's solve the given. Let L is equal to length and W is equal to width. So we will have length times width is equal to 12. Next, twice its length plus twice its width is equal to 16. So, we have to divide both sides of twice its length plus twice its width is equal to 16 by 2. So, we will have length plus width is equal to 8. Using length plus width is equal to 8, we are going to solve for the length. We have to transpose length, so we will have length is equal to 8 minus width. Then we have to substitute 8 minus width for length in length times width is equal to 12. So quantity 8 minus width, quantity times width is equal to 12. We will have 8 width minus width squared is equal to 12. So we have to transpose 12, so we will have 8 width minus width squared minus 12 is equal to 0. Then we will have width squared minus 8 width plus 12 is equal to 0. Then last, we have to factor this equation to simplify. So we will have quantity width minus 6 quantity times quantity width minus 2 quantity is equal to 0. So, that's it. I hope you learned something. Goodbye and keep safe, everyone.
Good day to everyone. I am Mrs. Celerina I. Flores from BSc 3B, major in Mathematics. I am here to discuss some real-world problems from grade 9 involving quadratic equation using Q-tips problem-solving strategy. But I want to discuss first what is quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is a second-degree equation. The general form of quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. In this equation, x represents a variable whereas a, b, and c are constant where a is not equal to 0. If the value of a is 0, then the equation is linear. Hence, a is the quadratic coefficient, b is the linear coefficient, and c is the constant. There are two kinds of quadratic equations, which are complete and incomplete quadratic equations. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is a complete quadratic equation. Ax squared plus c is equal to 0, ax squared plus bx is equal to 0, and ax squared is equal to 0 are incomplete quadratic equations. Now, we proceed to our main topic, which is real-world problems involving quadratic equation using Q-tips problem-solving strategy. I'll give you an example to use it. The length of a rectangular lot is 10 more than twice its width. If the area of the lot is 1,000 square meters, find the dimension of the lot. So, the first thing to do is identify the question or what is being asked, which is the dimension of the rectangular lot. So, the question from this problem is, what is the dimension of the rectangular lot? Second is the thought or the operation we must use to answer the problem. So, our operation or thought that we use is quadratic formula. Next is information or the given needed to solve it. So, our given or information are let x is equal to width, 2x plus 10 is equal to length, and 1,000 is the area. Next is plan about the problem, which is where to write or solve it, or the strategy we use how to solve it. So, we use whiteboard. And last is the solution or computation of the problem. Here in our solution, our equation is x times the quantity of 2x plus 10 is equal to 1,000. To simplify it and to become quadratic equation, we use distributive property. So x times 2x is equal to 2x squared. X times 10 is equal to 10x. We transfer here 1,000, so it will become negative 1,000 is equal to 0. So, to cancel out the coefficient of x squared, we divide it by 2. So, we have x squared, 10x over 2 is 5x, negative 1,000 over 2 is negative 500 is equal to 0. So, from this equation, our a or the value of our a is equal to 1, our b is equal to 5, and our c is equal to negative 500. Our quadratic formula, x is equal to negative b, positive negative square root of quantity of b squared minus 4 times a times c over 2 times a. So, we substitute the value. X is equal to negative 5, positive negative square root of, our b is 5 squared minus 4 times the value of a is 1, the value of c is negative 500 over 2 times 1. So, we have x is equal to negative 5, positive negative square root of 5 squared is equal to 25. So, 4 times 1 is equal to 4 times negative 500 is negative 2,000. So, we have negative sign here. It will become positive, so plus 2,000. Over 2 times 1 is 2. So, we have x is equal to negative 5, positive negative square root of 2,025 over 2. So, our x is negative 5, positive negative square root of 2025 is 45 over 2. So, our x is equal to negative 5 plus 45 over 2, or x is equal to negative 5 minus 45 over 2. So, from here, we have x is equal to negative 5 plus 45 is 40 over 2 is equal to 20. So, from here, x is equal to negative 5 minus 45 over 2. So, we have negative 25. Since in our distance, we have no negative distance, discard the negative value of x. So, we use 20. So, our width is 20 meters and our length is 2x plus 10. So, we substitute the value of x. 2 times 20 plus 10 is equal to 50 meters. So our width is 20 meters and our length is 50 meters. To check our answer if it is correct, we use the area of rectangle. The formula of our area of rectangle is A is equal to length times width. So we substitute the value. Our length is 50 meters times 20 meters is equal to 1,000 meters squared. So from our given, the area of our rectangular lot is 1,000 meters squared. So our answer is correct.